Oh, Jesus. What's this one? I have no idea where to hold this. Hi, my name's Marcus Holmes. That's my Twitter handle. I don't tweet much, but feel free to follow me. So what I'm going to do through here is what you need to pitch tomorrow. Now, this is not a general purpose. What?
Louder.
It's a microphone.
Big room.
Can you turn it up, please? A bit? Up. I can't see. This is not your normal startup weekend pitch. This is not. So we're going to throw a few of the normal rules out of the window. Okay? So I don't want you to go away from here thinking I know how to pitch an idea to an investment team, because this is a different sort of pitch. Okay. So I'm just going to plunge into it a bit. How many people here have pitched before? Wow. How many people have done public speaking before? Pretty much everybody. Has anybody not done any public speaking? Wow, okay. Yes, you over there. And you? Cool. We've got a few people. Okay. So you all know about the purpose of pitching. The purpose of pitching is to make some kind of change in the minds of your audience. You get in a room, you talk for a limited amount of time, and then when you leave, you have changed something. Something has changed. And you need to be really clear when you start pitching about what that change is you want to achieve between when you went into the room and started talking and when you came out of the room and stopped talking. Okay? That's your purpose. And in this instance, we have a very clear, very defined purpose, and we have exactly 5 minutes to do it in and 5 slides to do it in, but we'll get to that later. That purpose usually is about persuading people. In fact, the purpose of a pitch is to persuade someone of something. That persuasion will depend, what you're trying to persuade people and how you're trying to do that will depend on your audience and what your purpose is, but basically you need to persuade somebody of something. One of the most effective ways of persuading somebody is to tell them a story. So they start believing the story, they get involved in the story, they identify with the characters in the story, and then when they've finished hearing the story and they get to the conclusion, they're kind of, okay, I buy that, that's cool. In this instance, we are going to have to use a story. The reason for that is that our purpose is to convince the judges that we are the best team in this criteria for these 3 categories: originality, functionality, and story. You have to tell a story. If your pitch plan was to not tell a story, to use the conventional, pollinizer pitch plan or anything else, throw it out the window. You have to use a story. Sorry, Claire. Okay, the interpretation of this is a little bit loose, but originality, your idea should not be obvious. Like, don't do Facebook. Don't do social media for anything. Dogs, it's not bad. What if you do a one-page Google search and somebody comes up on that first page with what your idea is? No, throw it away, get a different idea. I know it's too late to throw it away and get a different idea, but pivot to something else. Functionality is all about, like, does your solution actually address the problem that you've identified? Does your demo work? Does it actually lead to a solution that actually solves the problem that you have identified? Is it coherent within all of that? And this is my interpretation. I'm going to be giving this pitch to the judges tomorrow morning, so hopefully they buy my interpretation of these, and we can go from there. And finally, story. They're going to judge you on your story. How coherent is your story? Does it make sense? Have you identified a good problem? Have you identified good solutions to that problem? Can you tell a story about somebody who has that problem? You've solved it, and then it scales to something big. Persuasion. In order to persuade somebody, you need to understand them. The reason for that is that you need to get into their shoes and understand their motivations. The only way you're going to be able to persuade somebody is if you can understand what motivates them and describe the change you want to affect in them using their motivations, their mindset. Which is why we always talk about benefits, not features. Always describe your product as benefits to your customer or to a user, not features that you have built. The reason for this is that you need to be sitting in your customer's motivations. Why is your customer using this? Why would your customer want to do this? What are the benefits for this person from their point of view in using your product? Not, how long did you spend building this particular feature, so you better bloody like it, because it took me ages. That's not describing it from their point of view. So you won't persuade anyone with that. And lastly, conviction and confidence. This is really, I was talking to one of the startups earlier, and he was saying, what really they'd say in all the startup ones is, would you quit your day job tomorrow to do this? The conviction and confidence you have behind this, you're really convinced that this problem is worth solving, that this solution you've got for this problem is worth doing. Would you give up your day job tomorrow and mount a crusade to make sure that this solution was a real thing in the world and really people with this problem really had this solution? Even if you don't quite believe that, you have to appear like you believe that. You have to be stood up there going, yes, I absolutely believe it. Actually, Orion was talking about power stances earlier. If you need to do that, then do the power stance. Get into the, I am absolutely confident that this is the best problem we could find. This is the absolutely working solution for this problem, and I am going to quit my day job on Monday and go and solve this! And if you can do that, then you can walk into your pitch with kind of, yes, the conviction and confidence that you need to do this. You need to persuade by the power of your personality, by the projection of your aura, to the judges, that this is something that will work also. This is a real problem. I mean, you've seen the press articles. You know, we're solving the worst problems in the world. You need to convince the judges of that. Okay. So, story. How do you tell a story? Story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. For those of you who have done more conventional pitches, you have a problem, a solution, and an opportunity. This is exactly the same. The only difference is we're telling it from a much more first-person perspective. So, set the scene is describe the organisation or the individual or the, whoever has your problem. Describe them. Who are they? What's their name? Where do they go to school? What star sign are they? Just get in their head. Describe who this person is. You want to be able to identify a specific person. And if you can find an actual person who actually has this problem and actually says, yes, this would solve it, that's awesome. But try and get as specific as you can. This is your target market. Who is your target market? What do they look like? What's their smell? What shoe size are they? Then show a solution. So how does this problem affect them? How does your solution solve this problem for them? This is where you also do your demo. So this is the solution we came up with, and ding, 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 here's our demo, squiggly, sloppy, bang, 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 done. And then you need to paint the future. So how does this scale? If Fred Bloggs has this problem, how many Fred Bloggs are there in the world? If this is primary schools, then you're influencing how many primary schools are there in the world. Can you scale this up to secondary schools? Does it solve world poverty? Does it, what's the big, hairy, ambitious goal that you've got? In traditional pitch terms, this is problem, solution, opportunity. Exactly the same way. The only thing is you're putting a bit of a spin on it so that you're telling a story. You're selling, this person has this problem, this is the solution to this person's problem. There are this many of these people in the world. This is how it's going to work, and this is how big it scales. At this point, you can also bring in what your business model is, how you're going to make money on this, how you're going to fund it, is it sustainable, all the rest of it. But that's all part of Paint the Future. First of all, you have to convince people this is a real problem, people really have this, and this is a real solution to it. Okay, 5 slides. You have 5 slides and 5 minutes to do this in. So you have to be really brutal. You cannot put much content in this. Less is more. Like, if you think this might be, I should put this in because they probably need to know about that, don't. Unless it's absolutely vital to your message, to your story, then kick it out. This is actually a quote from a sniper film, which I cannot get out of my brain. Slow is smooth, smooth is quick. It's really good. Don't sit there trying to pack as much content as you possibly can into your speech, because you'll end up doing this and nobody will understand you. And instead of pitching 2 things really well, you'll pitch 10 things really badly and no one will understand you. Take it slow. Right? Be really clear about what you're doing. If you find you're racing to get through the content, then cut content. Slow, steady, confidence. Remember, stance. Just take it slow, right? And you'll find the power of communication will work better, the smoother and the slower, and the less hurried you are, the more you can get this across. And remember, half your message is your conviction and your stuff. If your aura is all messed up by the fact that you've got to race through all this content because your coder insisted that he had to have that slide in there, then yeah, you messed up. So cut it back. Last one is images work. I know I'm being horribly hypocritical, but there's a reason for that. Images speak 1,000 words. If one of your 5 slides, 3 of your 5 slides have all got images on, that's fantastic. Don't put your speaker notes up there. I know I just have. Again, I know I'm being hypocritical, but don't put your speaker notes up there. You need to have your speaker notes in your brain, in your heart. You need to be all over what you're actually going to say, and put images up there that will reinforce it. If those images are graphs or information or anything like that, that's cool. What's on the slides should be stuff that you're not saying. So what you say is your conviction, your personality, all the rest of it. This is all backup information. This is what what you can't say because it's a picture or it's a chart or it's a graph or it's an image or whatever. But yeah, you should be doing that. Okay, so the reason why I haven't used any images is because we're going to go through. This is an actual workshop. This is not just me talking. What we're going to do is each one of you are going to create 5 slides. And if you have to write it down, then write it down, that's fine. But 5 slides with 3 concepts on each one of those slides that completely sums up your story, your idea. So your team's idea. So basically it's going to be a skeleton pitch for tomorrow. Okay, we're going to do that now in the next 15, 20 minutes. And you're going to take that back to your teams and you're going to pitch it at them. Okay? And we're going to make sure that you're doing that. So we're going to be picking random people, and especially the people who've never pitched before. I know who you are. We're going to get them up here and get you to give you a pitch. If anyone really wants to pitch, then let me know. But otherwise, okay. So that's, and we've got various mentors and other people around there. So if you're having a problem, hold your hand up, ask for help, do this. Remember, be brutal. You have 15 items.
Each slide, you have 3 concepts.
15 items that has got to tell the total story of your entire idea in 15 items. Okay? Off you go. There are going to be 2 judges on each panel. The judges are going to be in these rooms, so these rooms are all dividable. So you're going to be pitching in these rooms with just your team and the 2 judges in the room. So it's basically going to be one of these desks, 2 people sat behind it. You're going to be stood there in front of them talking to them. I doubt you're going to be using a microphone, and if you've got anything to do in a demo, you can just literally put it on a computer and put it in front of them, or a phone and hand it to them, or anything like that. So it's going to be really close.
Hey guys, this is important information.
Yeah. Don't make me shout again, because I get really hoarse if I have to do it. You will do it on your own computer, so bring your own computer, get it all set up, make sure the bloody thing works, it's got enough battery, all of that. You do not want a technical failure halfway through. You have to upload your 5 slides to an email address that will be coming. You'll be emailed with that. John's going to email that out. We also want you to put your 5 slides on a USB stick in PowerPoint format and have it available or hand it in. Again, details are sketchy, but we'll do that now. Your pitch is 5 minutes long. That includes your demo. You then get 5 minutes of feedback from the judges, including questions and answers. So you have to prep your team on who's going to answer which question. Worst thing you get is when the judge asks a question and you get 2 people fighting about who's going to answer it and all of that. It's terrible. So nominate someone to answer all the technical questions, someone to answer the business questions, someone to answer the touchy-feely questions about which star sign your brand is or whatever. Monique there is a pitch expert. If you have any questions and you'd really like some refinement, feedback or anything else, go and see her. She's really good, does this for a living, awesome. I don't, I'm a code monkey, so you can ask me questions. I will give you code monkey answers.
Can I rely on the Wi-Fi when I do my pitch?
No, don't rely on the internet. It's horrible here, it's terrible. Do not use Prezi for your pitch, because I tried that and
Every time.
Yeah.
Next question.
So, during the presentation, for the 5 minutes is the actual thing, and then 5 minutes is the Q&A. Does that mean for the Q&A, more than just one person can answer, so your whole team is going to be there for the Q&A?
Yes. Okay. You are going to be doing the pitch. Your team can answer questions.
Okay.
So, but yeah, make sure you got the most appropriate person. Try, and I know it's a huge multinational audience, I know it's hard sometimes, so try and find somebody with good English. Yeah. Any other question?
Can more than one person do the pitch?
More than one person can do the pitch, but I really strongly, hugely, massively, enormously, really, 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 hugely, really advise you not to. Okay, so you can, but don't. There's a really good reason for this. The reason is that it distracts attention from what you're saying by suddenly swapping it over. You think it adds credibility because you've only got 2 voices. Actually, what it does is distract on your credibility and reduce your credibility.
It's also 3 times harder.
Yeah, it's a lot harder. There are situations which can work. This is not one of them. I really, 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 hugely, massively, strongly advise you to pick whoever's got the best pitch and get them to go with it and keep one person. It's so much simpler.
Can I pitch without presentation?
Yes, you can pitch without a presentation. You have to submit 5 slides anyway because that's the rules. But if you just want to do 5 slides with slides of kittens, then yeah, that's fine.
Go for the emotion, remember?
Yeah, absolutely. 5 slides of real starving kids because you're addressing poverty in third world nations. Absolutely punch on the emotional message. Yeah, absolutely. If you don't want to use words, that's fantastic. Go for it. Yeah. Any other questions? Everybody happy? Everybody happy? Yes? You're all prepared for this? You're going to stand in front of 2 judges and have your work judged by people? Was that question up the back there? No, you're just waving your hands. Okay.
Marcus, quick question. If I'm doing a live demo, would I be better off creating a video of that and playing it instead?
That depends on how you interpret the word functionality. So, sorry, the question was, would a video be better than a live demo? It depends on your product. If your product is an app on a phone and it's an iPhone app and you just say, look, we're really sorry, we can't get this in the App Store, so we can't do this. Okay, fair enough. If it's like an Android one and you can do that, why haven't you got this as a workable demo? You're going to get instantly asked for that. If, however, your solution is Android tablets that you're going to drop from a plane or helicopter things into impoverished villages so they can learn about quantum mechanics, then absolutely do a video. You know, do a whole thing, because you're never going to be able to demo that well. So, yeah. Any other questions?
Excuse me?
Yep.
The demo is included in the 5 minutes.
The demo is included in the 5 minutes. So do not let your techies get away with this. I'm a techie. I want to talk all the features, the stuff all I've built. Do not let them get away with it.
Where are we doing these pitches?
In here. These rooms get divided down into 4 rooms. So we have 4 rooms. There will be one each. So, sorry, I forgot to mention this as well. We're going to divide by the 4 sectors, so all the education people are going to be pitching against each other to the same 2 judges in the same room, one after the other. All women's empowerment and so on. You have a question at the back there?
Yeah, is everyone going to be present to watch the pitches?
No, you're literally 2 judges and your team in one room. The rest of the people waiting nervously outside.
Excuse me.
That's really bad.
Sorry, hang on.
Is there going to be a stable internet connection?
No. Do not rely on the Wi-Fi. If your presentation is online, then either make sure you're going through your phone or something that you can count on, or do a scripted demo locally running from a local server on your laptop. Okay?
Excuse me.
Lady at the back there. Sorry. Sorry, is there a schedule for the pitches, are you asking? I don't know. There's various ideas being mooted around about when you actually submit your final idea is the order that you go into a pitch. Obviously the people who are later have more time to polish stuff even though they shouldn't do, so there is an advantage of being later, but at the moment it's an unanswered question. There's a chat down here.
Is the demo one of the slides?
No, you've got 5 slides and a demo, 5 minutes including the demo.
So there's going to be a winner for each sector?
Yes, there will be 1 winner for each sector as far as I'm aware.
So we're originally from the education side, but we've gone to environment instead.
I think when you register your company, you're registering what sector you want to go for and therefore which judges you're going against, I think. John Valdez is the person to ask. Make sure you ask him. Over there.
So preferably one person pitches, but when it comes to question and answer, the whole team.
Yes, you want one person pitching, but you want the technical people answering the technical questions. Don't try and answer them yourselves, you will fail. You go.
So if it's a mobile app and you want to like do a live demonstration, is there a way like you can like do the demonstration and everyone will be able to see it? Like
2 judges.
Oh, so you just do it like just
stood
go
right
like
in front of
here,
you, going, look,
watch.
here, look, here.
Okay.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah. Gentleman over here. Next one, there's a question over there. Yep.
The politicians, did you have any information about them? Like,
Yes, we do. We're not allowed to tell you who the judges are because some of them are mentors and you'll bug the shit out of them.
generally where they're from? Or,
So
No idea, man.
we don't know.
We don't
So
know.
officially, we do not know who the judges
Marcus,
are.
may I suggest answering questions? I think we're looping.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Last question. Let's go.
How long will the Q&A last?
5 minutes. So 5 minutes for Q&A. You've got a 5-minute pitch, 5 minutes Q&A. Yes, absolutely. We're looping that. Okay. So Caitlin's going to do her pitch because she's brave and she's unvolunteered. We've talked with 3 other people who wanted to pitch.
None at the back.
There's none two at the back apparently. So if you want to come and pitch, come up and do your thing. If you want to practice, this is a nice safe environment. You can fail here.
And guys, please have respect for the people pitching. No talking apart from the person with the mic.
In fact, if they're not pitching, they probably should.
Who's got the mic? Okay, this is a nice safe environment. You can fail here. No one's going to judge you for cocking it up horribly. And pardon my French. So I really, really strongly advise you that if you've never pitched before, you're not confident about pitching, come up here, fail, get all your nerves out of the way so that tomorrow you can do this properly. If you're nervous at all, then fail horribly here amongst your friends, and it'll be okay tomorrow. Cool. Caitlin. Round of applause.
Just to be clear, I was bullied into going first. I didn't volunteer. No, I'm kidding.
So, slight curveball for you.
Yes,
Sometimes in the startup world, shit happens.
it's true.
You have 3 minutes, not 5.
Of course. Okay, so everybody, in the year of 2000, the United Nations developed what we call the Millennium Development Goals. One of the focuses was worldwide primary education to be achieved by 2015. Folks, it hasn't happened, and it's 2013. The value of an education is known universally. What's not known, however, is that there are millions of children around the world who don't have access to books, pencils, even computers. The ramifications of lack of education is very important and serious. How does this problem impact you? Think about it. How many users worldwide are on Facebook? Over 500 million. It was one person that started everything, Mark Zuckerberg. 2/3 of the world's generation are the same age or under that Mark was when he created Facebook. Think of the types of innovation that we're missing out on when we deny these children of a proper education. That's where our idea comes in. Our idea, in Stone, is a foundation for the success of worldwide education. We focus on two key players, NGOs and personal donors. We bring them together and sit them around the table for a conversation that leads to more impact and greater development. The barriers that NGOs and donors share include competition and a lack of understanding and partnership. Our startup facilitates the conversation in an action-focused way. Jeez, okay. That threw me off. We have crowdfunding, idea sharing, built into a mobile and web app that's easy and impactful. We allow you to donate any type of money and tell your friends through Facebook and Twitter that you've donated. It also helps to raise awareness for the specific village or town that you're helping. The NGOs will get to hear feedback and ideas from specific users. So what our startup is really focused on doing is taking a very leadership-oriented approach and allowing the individual to say, hey, you know what? I helped make an impact 3,000 miles across the globe, and I'm proud of that, and I want you to do it too. So again, my name is Caitlin. Our startup is called In Stone, and we're building a foundation for lifelong learning. Thank you.
That was kind. Okay, who's next? Come on. Yep. Wow, somebody bringing a laptop. Confidence.
How do we use
Yeah.
I know what's like it.
What's your name?
Yeah. Great point, thank you.
Okay, everyone, give a round of applause for Shaza. One person. Come on. Choose name. No, choose name. Wait, okay, you can. Good time.
Well, no, you're about to prove to the whole room why you should do it.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, what's your name? Amran. Shaza and Amran. Ryan. Okay. You don't even know your name. How you going to pitch? Okay, give him a round of applause.
You don't?
No.
Oh, we don't
We just have practice.
Oh.
Just a practice.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is the real We're judges. Surprise!
And your time starts now.
Okay, so we're gonna start with a story about a friend of my friend. Yeah, the funny thing was that in his class, it was a humongous class, okay? There were 26 students, 32 tables, but 20 chairs. Like, to the point where if you got a chair, you go to and be like the elf from Lord of the Rings going like, my precious, my precious. Sorry, I'm so true. Yeah, and it happens quite a lot. So, there's no chairs, and that's not the only thing. There's no dictionaries, sometimes no tables in some of the classes, and everybody just like fights for it. Like, for education, it just happens. But the funny thing about it is that guy was me. And it was sucky every day. It was just hot. It wasn't humid, and well, we needed more chairs. So next slide, please. No chairs, no books, no supplies, thus no studies. There was, but okay. Next slide.
All right, so basically what we are trying to identify, as our startup is trying to identify, is this problem where students need things to study. So you need like shoes to get to school, right? And you need like books, textbooks to study. But students don't have these things necessarily. So the chair example shows to us the fact that, you know, you can't study without chairs. Like you guys are having problems right now. You're sitting down like, gosh, I can't do my work properly. Can you imagine like being in a school for like 6 hours without a chair? So this is where we want to create a platform where we can kind of like engage people based on this fact. So who are the people who give a chair? Okay, so basically we have 3 people involved. You have the students, they need the stuff, and you have teachers, they want to get the students stuff, because I mean like I assume teachers want to do that. And you, like me and you, as regular people, we actually have the stuff. Like how many of you have textbooks that like you don't need anymore? Yeah, and you don't know what to do with them. You're gonna like recycle them for $1? Why not instead give it to them? But like that's the problem. The problem is you don't know how to give it to these people. So what we want to do is create a platform for you to like put up whatever donations you have, and you actually have a respondent who comes and takes in the stuff. Or they can make a request and then you can donate the stuff. So the principle is simple. Give a chair. First of all, it's convenient. We have a platform where you can just put up your what you need, and then someone will respond to you, and then after that, you can see. Oh, no more time. Okay, so and then like the second concept is that we're transparent. You can see the fact that someone gets the chair, and finally we'll have a never mind. But basically, at the end of the day, what we want to tell you is that get the app, donate, help a school. www.giveachair.com.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Don't run out of time, people. That was really good. You go? Okay, next one. Francisco. Okay.
It's an experience. No, he just
Francisco is going to have a go. This is his first time pitching, guys, so big round of applause.
Hello, everyone. This is my first experiment, so I need a little bit of help from you, okay? So, how many of you didn't know what to do before graduating from high school? Can you please raise your hand? Okay, so everyone. Well, did you know that 80% of the people didn't know what to do before graduating from high school? And, well, after this, they took a wrong decision, so they have been working their entire life in something they don't like and they aren't happy. Okay, so let me introduce you to Moving. He's a very handsome Malaysian guy. He's very smart, very funny, a good party for the girls. And he was a very good student, very smart, and he was very enthusiastic about his life. And well, all of a sudden, in his last year, he didn't know what to do. He stopped, like, in front, he had a wall. And then he took a very bad decision. He decided to be a hairdresser. So can you imagine? After this, he's been doing this for 5 years, and now he's very unhappy. He's very unhappy. So, well, he needed another chance, okay? So I introduced to him Dream Job. What is Dream Job? Okay, let me talk about this. This is a mobile app that will help you to simulate your career path, your career opportunities, and by doing this, it will help you to change your life. For example, Moving. Moving did this, and now he's a very important entrepreneur. Okay, so let me explain you how this works. Well, first you open the app, you input your interests, your ideas, your skills, your career options. Then the app will output all the opportunities you have, what schools you should go, and well, this will guarantee you like you will have a better life if you follow this. And this is a simulator, so you could play with all the variables. Maybe okay, I maybe want to study in Mexico industrial engineering, and so then I can simulate what will be my possible wage and my employment percentage. Why? Yeah, my employment. And well, this app helped to change Moving's life. And look at him, he's happy and handsome again. Thank you, everyone.
Damn man, you killed it. That was awesome. Okay, props are great. And a fellow team member as a prop, that works too. Anyone else? Who's next? Go on. Fellow Deco guy. Michael, everyone give a round of applause for Michael.
Hi, I suck at this world. I'm very nervous, so please have mercy. Okay, I just want to introduce you to this girl called Dora, right? She's actually 10 years old. I want to introduce you to this girl called Dora, right? She's just 10 years old. She lives in a small village in Sarawak. Very, very difficult to get to school, right? She has to cross a river 5 kilometers long together with 20 other students, also around her age, picking up students along the way, like a water taxi. Now this is really dangerous for her, and I don't know how many of you actually know this, but the newspapers actually highlighted this. This is a real problem in Sarawak, and it's also happening right here, right now, in many other countries worldwide. Now I want to introduce you to another person. Her name is Sandy, right? She understands the situation, right? She came from a similar village, not that particular village, but she's made it, right? She's graduated, she has a degree, and now she wants to give back to the community. Now Sandy can help Dora. We can help Sandy by linking those two together, right? What we're gonna do actually, we are creating a platform where Sandy, the successful person with a degree, can curate local content, right? Local education mini classes for Dora, so that she can study on her own without a mentor to hold her hand, guide her step by step. But Sandy already knows what she's going through, so she can create some kind of mini course like, okay, you need English level 2, you need math level 1, you need to know how to boil water, you need to know how to cook so that you don't starve in the wild, because again, Dora's from a village with not much access to water and stuff like that. And so basically our platform, our product is a crowdsourced, locally curated, network independent, sorry, I suck at this. Okay, so we're going to create a platform so that mini courses like this can be crowdsourced and they become locally curated, right? So the person who receives it and actually does benefit a lot more from this, rather than just going to Wikipedia or Google or YouTube. And this becomes network independent because once the course is curated, Dora and many other girls like her, and guys of course, don't really need internet anymore. They can just download the app, just download the course and then study without relying on the internet, because infrastructure in these places is difficult to come by. So assuming I'm pitching to an investor, what this does for you is you get to do good, that's one. There's also, you get your tax breaks, so that's good. But basically, I just need your help to actually do good, so thank you very much.
Well done. Okay, we've got time for one more. So who wants it most?
Okay. Marcus, this girl's been...
Okay, which one of you have many of you not pitched before?
I've never pitched.
Okay.
Okay. So, thank you. I've never pitched like anything in my life, and this is my first startup of any kind. Oh, my time's okay. Okay. So this is so pretend that there's something here. This is Ferdinand. Ferdinand lives in the DRC. He's 16 years old. He stands at 4 feet tall. He weighs 80 pounds and lives on less than $2 a day. He is illiterate. Ferdinand suffers because of a distant population he knows nothing of. Now, in Palisades, Southern California, in a Best Buy down the street, we see shoppers looking at laptops. Little do they know that these laptops hold Ferdinand's blood and toil. They don't know this. How can we introduce the two of them? and stop this ignorant exploitation. Through the app, check it out. Check it out, in under 30 seconds, an ignorant shopper can find out whether their products are ethically produced and the reasoning behind this judgment. To bring this down from the clouds, my two best friends at AU are a barista at the local coffee lounge and the president of the Hope for the Democratic Republic of Congo Club. So the coffee lounge's mission is to make my university, American University, completely fair trade. And the Hope for Democratic Republic of the Congo Club mission is to make AU conflict free. So if clubs like these with student networks that have idealism and enthusiasm but are broke get a free app by which when anyone goes shopping, they are able to, at the click of a button, tell whether something is ethically produced, whether without conflict minerals or through fair trade. They are enabled to accomplish their missions, perhaps someday accomplishing a nationwide collegiate revolution towards these two goals. As you can see, in 30 seconds, we can make a huge difference.
Well done. Yes, we lied. Okay, guys, that's it. So, what I'd like you to do is all of you to go back and do that pitch to your team. Get their feedback on it, get them to iterate on it, improve on it, and then finally, you've got to do it tomorrow.